Hello from a very sunny Caister on Sea, just a few miles north of Great Yarmouth on the Norfolk coast. It's very, very windy. I don't know if you can hear it, but take my word, it is windy. It's beautifully sunny now and quite warm. I'm a bit too hot with all this clothing on at the moment, but it was raining when I got here a little while ago, so I can't really complain. I've got both rods out now, both with 3-hook flappers on, frozen black lug on all the hooks and tipped off with a bit of mackerel. So we'll see what we get. I'm not expecting really, well, don't know whether I'm expecting anything at all being February and the sea's a bit rough. I'll show you some photos or some video of it in a moment or two, and you can just see exactly what the weather is like. But let's hope, you know, we might get something. We'll see what happens. Right, that first one's been out a little while. Let's see what's happened to it. Well, it's not going to be a blank one. Nice little dab with the first cast. So let's hope we get a bit more, but a bit less of the weed, which I got stuck on the top of the leader knot, which I now have to pick off. Anyway, good start. Right. Oh, wind don't get any less. Let's get this out again, and I'll get the second rod in. Oh, getting blown away here. Got sand blowing down the beach now. God. Right, there's a storm that is here at the minute. Turn the camera around, you can probably then see quite what it's like. Yeah, I hope you can see what it's like. Oh, I have to blow my hat off again. Oh, bloody wind. Oh. I put my ear flaps down and clip it up under my chin, keep my eye on. Right. Oh, I'll probably get far too hot now, but right, let's get this other one in now. Oh, there's a lot of weed on this one. But there's a fish on there as well. No, no fish, just weed this time. Right, let's get back up here. It's a big part of my afternoon. Keep pulling weed off. Right, this is 3-hook flapper that I got on. You can keep it in focus with all this wind. But just about make out, I think, a bit of black lug, frozen black lug, and a bit of mackerel on there. Then we come down to the second one, same thing, a bit sand covered because just, you know, just been playing about with pulling the weed off, so they got a bit sand covered. And then the same again on the bottom hook. Just pull that bit of weed off. But I'll stick them out again. Red weight, which I think you're going to need on at least that today, because like I say, the wind is a blowing, and the sea's not too bad actually. I don't mind it like this. I don't like it much rougher than this, but I don't know if you can see, but the sand blowing down the beach. Glad I got my beach shelter up. But I'll get this out again, and I think I might have a cup of tea. I haven't had one since about 10 o'clock this morning, so I'll have a cup of tea. I left this box of bait out by my rod rest just for a few minutes. And you can tell how much the sand is blown by how much that's blown into that box. You can hardly see the bait now, there's so much sand. The other thing is, my latest addition, you might remember it on a previous video, I made that and that to put the line, the bait elastic in and the scissors, etc. But now, last thing I've made now is a cup holder with attachments to attach spoons to, so I don't lose the spoons as well. I know, I was bored one afternoon, wanted something to do, so that was it. That's what I did. Made a cup. Oops. Knocking things over. Looks like the kettle's now boiling. So let's make the cup of tea in my fancy dancy cup holder. All a bit sad really having a cup holder, but it does make life a lot easier. Let that brew for a second while I get the milk out. That in the rubbish bin. Put the lid on. Check that's on properly, because I have had it where it hasn't quite gone on properly and you end up tipping it all down your front. Feels pretty heavy. Whether that's weed, we shall soon find out. Probably just weed. That all on caught on the way of the line. Nothing that time. Rid of this weed first. Horrible stuff. At least it's not raining anymore like it was when I got here, so that'd be really miserable if it was raining. Well, it's lovely bright sunshine. Right, let's put some fresh bait on. If I can find it amongst all this sand in here. So same again. A little bit of squid I got hold of this time. Not that I expect that makes any difference whatsoever. This time the lucky dip amongst the sand was a piece of mackerel. Right. Have we got any more lugworm left in here? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, I've got some in the bait bag. Oh, they're still rather frozen. Got to try and get the paper off. That's would be the first thing. If I'd find the end of the paper, it would be handy. But no. Oh, come on. Oh, I made a right mess of this now. Can't even work out how they're done it up. Hang on. Getting somewhere a little bit, I think. All my luck and judgment. Right. Sort the rest of them out in a minute. Priority is get some bait on a hook and get that in the water. Tea's still plenty hot enough, so get this other rod in. More weed, but I think I've got a couple of tiny little dabs on it. Two tiny little dabs. Right, let's get these unhooked. Appears to be plenty of dabs about. There was 3, but one fell off when I'm bringing them up the beach. But 2 left there, so I'll get them taken off and rebait and get them out again. Oh, nice to sit down for a minute. Just want to do this. But I have to keep doing that up, so otherwise my hat disappears down the beach. But I had a good afternoon so far. Had a dab with the first cast, and I think just about every cast I've had 1 or 2, or the last time I had 3. I got back to the rod rest to put it on. There's only 2. Where's the other one? It fell off on the way in, so I had to go and quickly just go and rescue that from the sand. And that was that. But apart from the first one, they've all been sort of really small ones, sort of, I think probably all have been under 20 centimetres, so not too bad really. That's more than I expected. I expected I could have very well blanked here today. February supposedly not being a very good month for fishing, but well, so far I'm quite pleased. Just like 1 or 2 bit bigger dabs. I've got 1 decent, that first one, which is a reasonable size, which I've kept. Just want another couple, and then that'll make a meal for me and the wife. But about an hour now till low tide, and then we'll fish, I don't know, well, we'll see how it goes. I don't know, 2-3 hours back and tide back up. So we're fishing into the dark. I have got another rod and I can't decide whether to stick that out because I've got a pulley pennel with me, or an up and over or something similar, and I've got a couple of 3-4 big mackerel squid baits. I don't know whether to try that or whether that just be a complete waste of time. I'll see how this goes. If this goes really quiet with the dabs, then I'll stick one of the other ones out and we'll see what happens. Or I'll just use one of these rods instead of fishing with 3, which can be a bit hard work. Just fish with 2, and 1 with a big bait and 1 with the 3-hook flappers on. But yeah, it's been not bad at all. time for another rebait. Nothing this time, except a bit more weed. Still has to be expected at the moment. Shame, no more fish. Right, get the other rod in. Oh, 2 mini dabs. And when I say mini, I mean mini. This one, top one, certainly looks like that's lip hooked, so whoops. So we should be able to get it unhooked fairly easily. There we are, 2 more little dabs. Right, okay, while the rain's coming down, I think I'll make another cup of tea, so I don't really want to go out there in it for the time being. I've just rebaited and cast out both rods, so they'll be alright for a little while. And hopefully this shower will pass over fairly quickly. That is sunny as well, believe it or not. Don't know if you can, I'll just show you, you can see the sun on the beach, but rain everywhere else, as you can hear. So like I say, rain and sunshine. Wish the rain had stopped again now. Well, I'll go and check these, check and see whether we've got any fish or any bait left in a minute. It's now just about low tide, so it's about 5:15. So we'll fish this maybe another couple of hours back up. If I have to move because the tide comes in too far, then I'll go up. I'm going to take all this up and then put it down again and then go home a little while later. So we'll see how we go. But it should be, because I was here a couple of hours or so before low tide, so it should be alright for a couple of hours of the tide coming in. That's the theory anyway, so let's hope that holds true. God, cleaning all my gear's going to be fun tomorrow, because everything's going to be full of sand. And I bet when I pack the shoulder up, that it's going to go wrap in a load of sand with it, so I should carry a load of sand in. When I put it back up again to dry out in the conservatory, I shall make one hell of a mess. That's the worst bit about fishing, is having to clean all your tackle when you get back. Oh, wind turbines are going around nice and quickly, so should be plenty of electricity being generated today. There's not much of this Norfolk coast where you don't get wind farms these days. Not normally quite this close in, they're normally sort of sitting right on the horizon, and you can just make them out on a fine day or at night, and then you see all the lights, all the warning lights on them blinking away. Oh, here comes the rain again. Just rebaited the rods, had another dab. Don't know how in your hand the couple of figures for me. I think the first dab I had was the biggest, about 23 centimetres. I think the next biggest have been 22, and then there's been ones that are less than that. But it's starting to get dark now. It'll get dark a bit earlier than that has been, because that's pretty cloudy and pretty wet, as you can now hear on the old beach show. So glad I got that. That's the best bit of kit I've ever best bit of kit I've ever bought. That is saved so much grief when it's sitting here. Imagine sitting here in this, or even just on a windy day. That keeps it, keeps you warm as much as anything. So I don't know how long I'll stick this out. Depends on how long it keeps raining, I think. But it's maybe stopped again now. Oh, well, we'll crack on then. Well, it's probably dark now. It's coming up to 6:30. Tea's cooking, the sausage casserole. Wind hasn't died down at all, as you can probably hear. But we're going to keep soldiering on for a little while longer. Just caught the first white of the evening. A tiddly little thing, about 20 centimetres, something like that. Right, okay, gave up in the end. It's now 10 to 8 and I'm back in the car. Was planning to stay till about 9, maybe 9:30, but the wind just got too much for me. The wind was blowing the sand everywhere, even in the shelter you could see it, and it was getting in my tea and in my food, and then the weeds started getting bad as well. So gave up in the end, but I had plenty of dabs and one whiting. All the rest were dabs, and there must have been, I don't know, I did take some photographs of some of them and measure some, but some I didn't bother with, but there must have been, I don't know, a dozen dabs or something like that in that one little whiting. So it's quite a successful day. So if you enjoyed this little film, please comment, or even better, please subscribe to the channel. It would be much appreciated. But until next time, good night everyone.